This boy. Well, I am back-ish. Just doing some brakes on the Corolla because they have been lackluster for a long time. So this is the BGRS Wilwood 4-pot that fits under 14-inch wheels. And I'm really excited about this. I have pretty much ran exclusively stock brakes and pads, throughout all the 86s I've owned. So really have not been too impressed by the braking performance on any of them, obviously, but not gonna lie, this was very not cheap. So I don't really even drive the car anymore, so I'm hoping this will sort of reignite the excitement, I guess, for this car. And I'm kind of just by myself right now, and I thought I might as well pick up the camera because why not? I don't really know how to do this anymore, but it is cool when people reach out and still ask about the videos and stuff. Yeah, not gonna lie, that's kind of the only reason why I'm doing this. But it's been so long actually that my YouTube channel has been demonetized, just not because of anything I did, but just because of lack of activity. And they really like when you post every couple days, which obviously that's cringe and I'm not gonna do that. But just noticed how rusty this hub is, but I would paint it, but I guess the better way to do it is just buy $2,000 TE37s and then just put the 37s on there anyway. Let's see if I could do this with one hand. They are pretty light. Damn strong as fuck. There we go. Don't even see the rusty hub anymore. So obviously I just slapped these together. I am by myself. Gonna wait for tomorrow for some help with bleeding them, but yeah, the clearance is pretty good. Not worried about that at all. I've seen way closer. So anyway, I'm trying to see if I can use this GoPro. I literally haven't used this in 2 years, but I'm just charging it right now. Kind of, like I said, forgot how to do this, but I was a little bit inspired when I saw More Skids video, updating the channel, because it is pretty cool, although, it's tough just because I've literally not done anything to this car, so I have nothing to upload. But I have got some new shit, I got a DR350, which I love. It is so much fun, and then also a 03 FZ1, so those are cool. But all of these, not so much this one, are very seasonal, and in Washington, obviously, that season that you can use stuff like this is 3 months, 4 months maybe. So it is pretty annoying, but I'm not really driving this car in the rain anymore, every day, just because it sucks. On one hand, in a seller's market, it's great now that these are worth so much money, but when you're just trying to use it and drive it and park it wherever, it's you really can't do that anymore, unless you're you don't really care about the monetary value of it. But unfortunately I do. I'm trying to maintain, just because these cars rust so easily. But anyway, so not I have to really excuse my lack of activity on YouTube. Maybe if I got paid from YouTube still, but yeah, even when I was getting it, it's just an added bonus, I guess. It really wasn't anything special. Anyway, wow, this sounds like a lot of complaining, but everyone that reached out and sort of asked where I was, thank you, because it does mean a lot, and I do see those comments. I'm really not the best at responding to those, but I do see you, and I do appreciate you, so thanks. And this has been 4 minutes and 30 seconds of unedited rambling. I'm not sure if this is good, but I guess it doesn't have to be when it's free. But I hope everyone out there is doing good, because I certainly am. Just really excited about this summer. I got to do a lot of stuff to my house, and Really can't do those things when it's raining every single day and depressing weather-wise. But it's a fun excuse to have to do nothing. Just play OSRS all day and drink beer. So, alright, so now the hose has to come off. I'm probably not gonna film that unless I can get in here with the flare wrench. Is that gonna work? I'm gonna need 2 hands for that. Okay, so long story boring, the hub is off and the rotor's off and the dust shield is off. You need to take this dust shield off of the adapter, but for whatever stupid reason, Toyota decided to make this one piece. So there's a spot weld here and here that you need to remove. So once those 2 are removed, you can pry off the caliper mounting bracket, and that is it. Just a little bit of work, and what's really fun is all this is just brake pad dust, and when you grind it, it gets in your lungs, you get cancer, so I can't wait. Just realized now that my channel's demonetized, I can finally say all the cool things that I've wanted to say for so long. It's crazy how fake COVID turned out to be. Alright, so now okay, so I got the spot weld, and that should be pretty close to being able to be removed now. There's a bit of a gap, so I think it needs just a little more loving. You can kind of see the outline of the spot weld like right there, but just a little more. Missed it. Almost there. I might set up the GoPro for this. Awesome. Damn, that's hella lucky. I was actually able to just bend the other one off enough to break it. So now we're just going to grind this down, clean up this old grease, and clean this up a little bit and throw it back on the car, because we do need to grind off these ears as well, just so the caliper will fit. So those need to get ground down just a hair, and I guess you'll see why when I'm done. Alright, so the caliper bracket's back on the car, and now we just need to UGA these on a little bit. found out that about 1 second of Ugga is pretty good for these, so just go ahead and send her. If I could put this battery on. Alright, so maybe just cinch him up a little bit. It's only your brake pump. Alright, now those are to spec, so now these need to get grinded off. So let's see, this sort of adapter bracket, the inside goes on here, so just needs a little bit of clearancing and we should be all good. Okay, that should be all we need, just a little bit of grinding there. Let me take this off. Yeah, perfect. So not too much at all, just the tiniest amount and she'll be good to go. Everything is so dirty under here. Alright, so those are on, and that's kind of why you need to grind those down. Pretty close to the bracket, so I think I got that pretty much perfect. As expected, I only do things perfect around here, so yeah, pretty damn good. Alright, now let's first try as well. So now obviously something's missing from this picture. That would be the big ass rotor, which is laying over there. So I just wanted to do this first because it's a little bit easier. You can just slide the caliper onto the bracket, make sure it clears, and then you're good. So pretty straightforward, and really liking how this is going together so far. I mean, it better go together well because it's a $1,000 setup. So funny story. When I first was filming out here, I recorded everything vertically. So I literally was talking to myself for 7 minutes, and it didn't even matter because obviously recording vertically would not work for YouTube. But that was pretty cringe, but I still did this because that's how much I love you guys. I still re-said everything I said. Maybe made it a little bit more PG, but anyway, that sucked dick. But alright, so I just do this every single time I take the hub off the car. I just put new grease on there because it can't hurt. This would probably get demonetized off of YouTube these days. Alright, there is the grease. Some dirty old axle grease, and my second dose of cancer this video, so that's sweet. Anyway, this is kind of cringe, so I'll stop recording. I'm actually kind of enjoying this, weirdly. It's nice to be back. Stop. Alright, those are mostly all out. 1, 2, 3. And of course, it's not out all the way. And there, sweet. Oh, is it gonna be a cunt? If I was a smart man, I'd use pliers the wrong way and then try to separate this rusty ass hub that has brake fluid all over it. I guess this is why it's called backyard build, huh? Oh, there it is. Wow, that's been on there for a while. It's a very gross looking wheel bearing, but I'm not going to fix that. Oh, that's not bad. It ain't bad, it's just dirty as hell. Okay, so off camera, I just torqued all those 4 down. I actually did though, but throwing the... No, I gotta put the rotor on first, fuck. This is how down bad we are for a tripod. I'm literally putting my phone on the jack to do this. Alright, so the rotor goes on this way, because that makes sense. And you spin it around until the holes are visible. Nice. Threads right in. Perfect. Who would watch this? Who wants these videos to come back? Who would fucking watch this? Alright. I think I can take my tripod down now. Hell yeah. Go ahead and send a couple of these. What would I do without my DeWalt? Thanks, Dad. Fucking lifesaver. There it is. Alright, now we legit have to torque these. Okay, now it's time to slide on the hub. Ooh, that made a weird noise. To the rotor, and then make sure this doesn't fall down because I have no idea where I put my other side of the wheel bearing. Boom. Castle nut and this guy. Alright, literally all you need to tighten this is just probably not even that much, and it's good. Yeah, perfect. Alright. Do not over tighten that, otherwise, well, unless you really love changing wheel bearings, you don't need that much pressure on there. Wow, these pins are always a pain in the fucking dick. I don't even know what it's catching on. There we go. Alright. The correct way how to do this. I don't have a hammer, but should get a little hammer. Fuck it, I'm keeping it live. I'm keeping it live. Getting the hammer. Like Bill O'Reilly. Boom. Alright, now that is never coming off. Sweet. Alright, got the dust cap ready to go on. Gently. I wish I can show you how I do this, but man, I need to stop. Now for the final part of putting the bracket on and the caliper back on. It's starting to look like something now. One thing that I noticed is that both of these calipers had these pistons sticking out a tiny bit, which made it very hard to install the pad, so I do need to sort of like safely compress those back in a little bit. I can almost do it with my fingers, actually can. But these are calipers without dust shields or dust boots, so you really can't afford to drive this on, like, you know, a lot of dirt or like sludge gets in there, you damage your pistons. So really these are good for summer vehicles and track vehicles only, which is fair. It's just how she goes, I guess. Let's try to stick some pads in there, see how far away we are. So it's just like motorcycle. Yeah, that one's not wanting to go, and boom, that one goes in just nice. Same as the other side. That's so cringe. Alright, I need to figure out how I could safely push those pistons back in there. Alright, so I just used a piece of this hardwood flooring, once again backyard built, because I figured that wood would not damage the metal. So it did work very, very well. Now those are pretty flush. Just gonna finger that a little bit and make sure no dust got in there. And that's the way you do it. The other pad is here. Alright. Watch the mastery, literally first try. Boom. Alright. Crisis averted. Now safety pin goes in. This gave me a little trouble last time. It is not this time. YouTube luck. Not gonna bend those until I am done bleeding it and such. And these rotors do need a clean, obviously. You should do that every time you replace brakes. Yeah, all in all, pretty straightforward install. Everything in here is so dirty. Last thing, obviously, we need to do two things. So this, for whatever reason, this part that goes through here, typically, obviously not meant for that, I guess. And then these are also not wide enough. So what I'm going to do is take the grinder, I just did this on the other side, grind these down a little bit to widen this, and this worked really well on the other side, and then, you know, obviously clip it through there like it would from factory. So I'm going to do some of that now. Should be all good to go. Make sure that thread's in there just nice. And just do it up with the flare wrench to be safe. Shouldn't take too much. This is one of those NPT fittings, I guess, so it gradually tightens as you go, like thread depth wise. I don't know, they're like gradual threads or something. I never really learned what NPT fittings are, but that's what I gathered. Alright, go ahead and torque that to 300 pounds and snap it in the caliper and you should be good to go. Well, thanks for sticking through all that. I don't know if that was entertaining or not, but, you know, it is free content, so hell yeah. Next video will just solely be driving this on the road. I really want it to be dry and sunny outside for that video. Just so the tires will grip well and then I get a good feel of everything that's been going on. I also put panic axles in the car because mine were extremely bent. I don't even know how, but so the car does have panic axles now. Big upgrade, and I also refreshed the rear end, but you can't even see that. So all new bearings and ring and pinion. I was going to go for a 4.7, but I found out that a 4.3 was stocked locally, so that was pretty good for me. A 4.7 was pretty tempting, but you know, I kind of street drive this car a lot. But I do want to actually start track days this summer, which is kind of why I bought the truck that's outside. This is kind of going to be, I guess, a bonus for those of you who stuck through the boring content. It's a 95 F350, and I'm really excited about this one because it's my first diesel truck. It's my first Ford, actually. So I got a pretty good deal on it. A lot of diesel truck prices are, very hilarious. Something like this usually would be like 10 or 15,000 for like a clean low mileage one, but I guess this only has 181,000 on it, and it is pretty clean for what it is. The only thing is just like these flares could really use use some love. It's like someone drove this and they didn't know that it was a dually or something and just kept smacking shit. But I love this thing. It's been pretty cool learning how diesels work. Like, I really didn't even know how a diesel engine worked. I wanted to try something new, I always just buy Toyotas and never really strayed too far from what I know, like automotive wise. But I love this thing. It's been pretty great to me. I just did the carpet. I put vinyl flooring in there. Fixed a lot of things wrong with this truck. There was a lot of little things wrong with it. Just kind of been cleaning it up, deleting a lot of old wiring that wasn't being used. It does have a tuner on it, one of the 6-position ones, so I have it on 2 right now, which is, barely above the school bus tune that these come with stock. But really loving this truck so far. It's been pretty great. When I bought it, it had a little bit of a fuel leak, so I had to figure out where that was coming from. So I just went ahead and cleaned up a lot of things in here as well. First thing was like this heater line was rubbing up against this bracket right here, so I replaced this line and then just zip tied it a little bit cleaner. There used to be a bunch of old relays and wiring right here, and cleaned all that up. Did the belt on it, and then the biggest thing I had to do was this fuel filter relocation. I just had this little sock on it to tighten it up, but that was the biggest thing I had to do, because under here originally sat the fuel filter canister, I guess, and it is solid mounted to the engine, right on those 2 bolt holes down there, which is I think it was cracked, or the stress cracked or something, because I could not get that thing to stop leaking. So I had to buy this kit, which is it's pretty sweet. Originally they had the FPR mounted right here, so you could not run the cover, but I wasn't not going to run the cover at all. It just looks so much cleaner with the cover on there. So took a little bit of finagling, but it is in there and it does not leak anymore. It's just pretty cool to learn all this stuff. And people really have said great things about the 7.3 engine. I've heard a lot of great things, but as with anything, especially automotive wise, there are a lot of elitists, which I didn't notice really, because I never was in the diesel truck thing. But it seems like everyone says that theirs is better just because they have it. I think we can all agree that old diesels are just kind of shitty equally. At least that's what I think of them. But so I don't know. I just really wanted to step into something new, and this was affordable and local, so really have no complaints so far. But it is very cool just to have something that's totally beyond what I need, and it can pretty much tow my Corolla to all the events I want to go to this summer. But anyways, so that's the Ford. And something I am much more excited to show you is around the corner. Not gonna lie, I'm much more happy with this car than I am with the Corolla. I don't know, it's such a different car, but also it's kind of what I started out modifying is something like this. And it's my daily driver. It is, or let me flip this around. This might be, and correct me if I'm wrong, if someone can find proof that this is the only 5-speed ES300, which is why it is very cool to me, but obviously it didn't come standard like that. I did convert it. I found an old 99 Solara, and Camrys and Solaras came in manual V6. The ES300 did not. So, and then obviously I finally found a Corolla S steering wheel. But, you know, the triple pedals, they do fit very nicely. This is on a 4th generation Camry platform, so that's kind of why I haven't figured out how to make these screw holes look clean, but ignore those for now. Obviously, this car did not come with the handbrake from factory, so everything back here is from the Solara, and you know, the Lexus came with a foot brake, so I had to delete the foot brake, kind of stuck up there, and since this is on a 4th generation Camry platform, it was able to accept the same pedal set as the Solara, and luckily the only thing I needed to change for, you know, the sort of conversion that was not expected was the handbrake, because I thought I could run the foot brake with all the manual pedals in there too, but I could not. So luckily this did fit, and it's pretty sweet how it all, you know, worked. And it does have a short shifter in it, which is pretty important on an old Toyota. I don't know why, but it seems like all of their 90s shifters were just extremely long for no reason. But I love this car so much. I'm taking it on a road trip pretty soon, so I'm just gonna give it a quick little refresh, but I do drive it every day, and I also had to relocate the seat heaters in here with some nice electrical tape, but because of course obviously they were right here with the automatic car. But it's kind of funny, I bought this car just so I can have an automatic to commute with, and then like a month later I just was like, okay, time to 5-speed swap it. Like literally it could not be any dumber. But if you could find someone who's done this before, please leave a link in the comments, because I'm very curious about how they did some things. But I feel like this is maybe the only one, certainly the only one that I've found on the internet so far. But if I am wrong, I would love to know, because I love calling it a one of one, even though it's like a one of one Lexus that nobody cares about. But the swap went pretty well. I'm gonna do a whole video on this car just because I love it so much, but just like a quick update on what I've been doing and where I've been for literally the 5 people who actually care. Oh, and all the rain goes all over the engine. So it's a VVTi 3-liter 1MZ FE, and it is extremely clean in here. I left the engine in when I was doing the manual transmission swap, and I really wish I took the engine out, because you really cannot remove the automatic when the engine is still in the engine bay. It was a pain in the ass, but I did it. I just had to modify a couple of solenoid connectors down there to trick the computer to thinking it was in park, you know, to start it, and then it's still running the AT ECU. Still running a lot of the AT electronics. The one thing is that it that doesn't work is the cruise control. I would need to find a way to trick the car into thinking it's in drive, and even then I don't know if that would work. But you know, obviously the clutch master is just chilling right here. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. You obviously have to drill these holes out yourself to mount this, but it wasn't terrible. Yeah, I'm really lucky I found the Solara for a parts car, because sourcing all these parts are extremely rare. This is the same transmission that comes in turbo SW20 MR2s, and you know, obviously V6 Camrys and Solaras, and that's it. That's an E153 5-speed, and it might be like the rarest transmission, manual transmission that Toyota made and people are looking for. That's where you can find them, just those 2 cars. So the one cool thing about the MR2 version though is that you could optionally find one with a LSD, but unfortunately it's a rare option even on the turbo MR2s. But yeah, the clutch lines, all relatively no issues back there. Shifter cables were pretty annoying as well. The shifter cable's buried down there, I believe, is what that is. Yeah, it's hard to see down there, but you have to go through the middle of the car and then take out the entire interior to get to the flange that the shifter cables need to go to. But my first car was a 93 Camry 5-speed, so it just brought back so many memories doing this swap, and it drives like, you know, it has more power and it's nicer, obviously, because it's a Lexus, but just so many little things that you need to do to make a swap work like this is just the reason why it took so much work, and I love it so much. But I'll do a whole video on this. I don't even care if no one cares. I love this car a lot. Well, I'm back, and I bought a Toyota Solara, but before you close YouTube, it's actually quite a rare one, and I'm going to be creating, I think, a one-of-one Lexus after this. This is a 1999 Toyota Solara SE, and really, I never thought I'd own a Solara, but Solara, I don't know. This one's quite special, and it's special because it's very rough, but it's got one very important thing. It is a 5-speed manual V6 triple pedal, and I love that. This is pretty much one of the rarest Toyotas no one cares about. I don't know exact production numbers, but I've read somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,500 1999 manuals were made. It's either that or 3,500 total across all years. They did make a V6 5-speed Camry as well, which is rare, but they never made a 5-speed Lexus ES300 before, which is in here. So, this is my current daily driver. I bought it because I wanted an automatic, and then I realized how boring automatic cars are to drive. So, I thought I might as well change that and create a very unique car that almost no one but myself will care about. But yeah, I'm hoping that most items on the cars are going to be a straight swap, because they're basically the same car, the same platform. The wiring is going to be different, but I don't think I'll need any wiring as long as I can trick the park sensor, which is down here on the automatic. So anyways, obviously I have some pressure washing to do. This car also has 333,000 miles. 335, I think. I think that's what it has on it. So obviously I wanted to make sure that the transmission was good, and it is. It's smooth enough for a high mileage Toyota transmission. 335/807, which is pretty cringe. However, all the gears work fine. Alright, well, there it is, all said and done. Had to charge my little light, but get the point. Gonna bleed these up tomorrow, but for right now, can't complain about the install of the kit. And obviously the brakes are so much bigger than stock, so can't wait to see how it feels. But for right now, just gonna toss the wheel on and see how I like it. Yeah, this is hopefully gonna reignite my love for the car, I guess. Have been pretty burned out on it, not gonna lie. Kind of wanted to step into something a little bit newer recently, but I'd really love to get a first generation ISF or like a E90X M3 or something. But yeah, both of those are going for quite a lot of money. But then again, so are these cars. But every time I drive it, I seem to feel like I need to keep it, because I guess there is something about it, you know. There's a reason why people love these cars, and so do I. But, you know, it's a blessing and a curse that it's worth so much money. Wow, look at that. So good. Hell yeah. Pretty sweet. Nice. Alright, I guess that's it. Thanks for being so patient. I love not having a regular schedule, making videos, and sort of fading into irrelevancy has actually been pretty nice. Not like I was, but it's cool. I've been enjoying life. Everything's great. Got a lot of cool cars, and they run, and can't ask for anything more, but can't tell you when the next video is. Maybe in the summer, so bye.